Okay, so like I don't do backstories much on my poems, but like this one's kind of like important. So recently I just came back from the individual World Poetry Slam back in Flagstaff. And it was great, yeah, it was fun. It was kind of messy though, if anyone else was there at iWhips, it was very messy. And one of the most like messy things about it wasn't necessarily like, you know, the location aside, you know, there were not any black and brown people in Flagstaff, but one of the messiest things was like one of the poets in one of the bouts who did this poem about how you are weak if you stay in an abusive relationship. Yeah. You should hit your abuser back, yes. Kind of thing. Just like very, very, very harmful. And I wasn't there for the poem, thank God, but a good friend of mine who had been in an abusive relationship was, and she was volunteering, and she had to keep face and hold everything together for that. And I found the poem online after, you know, the competition was over, and it was just so angering that I had to do a response poem to it, because I was so angry. And I don't really tell this story very often, but it's kind of one that I want to tell, because I don't write enough poems about my father. And this one's called Stay, and it's from my mom. After Lauren Perry. There's something to be said about the girl at the Poetry Slam that says, battered women play the victim violin. Says her grandmother told her, if someone hits you, you uppercut that bastard square in the face, because that doesn't get women killed or anything. There's something to be said about the girl at the Poetry Slam that tells battered women to pack a bag, just go, no more staying, or else they'll just be another statistic. That my mom is just another statistic, just another Latina with 2 kids, 2 jobs, too many bills to pay, and too many bruises for anyone to notice. And the girl at the Poetry Slam is saying that my mom should just leave. As if he didn't crash her car or steal all of her money or drag her back inside by her hair, as if you could just stop loving the ocean despite all of the times it has tried to drown you. Like the cycle just ends when the relationship does. And for the first time, I don't want to write about this. I don't want to write another poem about my body and how it becomes my mother's body, or how my daddy loved me so much he kicked my mother's belly when she was carrying me. And is this not love? What else do you call a failed abortion if not a miracle or a curse? You see, the last time I went back to my abuser, he sexually assaulted me again. And this is the part of the story where I tell you, I think I didn't love him, but we weren't dating and we were friends, and he didn't hit me much. And this is the part of the story where I tell you, Mom, I did everything I could to stay with him because I didn't want to leave. And he kept begging me to stay with him. So I stayed with him even after he left, because I love the ocean, because I still love the ocean, Mom. He left, Mom. I stayed. I didn't leave like you did. And to that girl at the Poetry Slam that would tell me, oh, you're so pretty when you cry at how hard he loves you, I'm telling you right now, keep my mother's trauma out of your mouth. I love you, Mom, because my mother is the reason I can speak out against my abuser. I love you, Mom, because every time I think about killing myself, I love you, Mom. I hear her voice asking me to stay just a little bit longer. I love you, Mom. So before you tell me how weak I am for staying, I'm telling you right now, keep my trauma out of your mouth. I love you, Mom, because my mom and I cry and sweat and bleed and grow and rise and survive and rise 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 and rise, and neither of us are playing a fucking violin. I love you, Mom.